In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 important things to keep at the forefront of your mind when thinking about what event tracking and performance reporting you want for your website. This builds on our previous videos where we shared the number 1 mistake to avoid, followed by how you can use a free report to see valuable data that reveals where visitors to your site are actively engaging. Now, we want to take all that we've learned so we can move forward with a mix of standard and custom event tracking reporting to gain even more valuable insight into your website's performance that more specifically matches your business goals. So what are these 3 key website performance reporting considerations? Key consideration number 1, vanity versus value. What we're talking about here is making sure that we connect the right metrics to the right business goals. For example, page views versus content engagement. It's a little bit like subscribers on YouTube versus watch time. Remember how we talked about content fundamentals? If you've seen any of our other videos, specifically our playlists on SEO and content fundamentals, as well as our playlist optimizing calls to action, this is a really important consideration. We don't just want to be seeing how many people are looking at particular pages. We want to make sure that our calls to actions are being optimized on the right pages at the right time to give us our biggest bang for buck return on investment. Key consideration number 2. I've labeled this strategic intelligence, but what we're talking about here is making sure that we balance complexity with utility. What I mean is the data's got to be good enough to make sense, but not so overwhelming that you can't use them. So we want to make sure that we're getting some standard reports, but also making sure that they fall into our more comprehensive business strategy. What this usually means is making sure there's a nice mix of standard event tracking and custom event tracking that mixes important fundamental information all websites need in line with specific information you want related to your own specific business. In other words, things you set up on your site that you need to track uniquely. Key consideration number 3, implementation insights and future-proof. What we're talking about here is making sure you've got information set up in a way that it can be tracked and reported on. And it's not too complicated. As we've said, some event tracking is standard and built into Google's normal dashboard. Now, whilst the dashboard may be overwhelming, we've already showed you that you can put it into a standard report, see it in a much simpler view, and do something with it. But when it comes to custom reporting, you'll need to make sure that there are some things like naming conventions or certain metrics that you want to see so that when your reports are put together, they can come together in a way that is still easy to understand and you can take action on. You also want to make sure that you're using tools that are going to work across platforms in case there are platform changes. For example, using Google Tag Manager will allow certain tracking to stay in place regardless of which analytics platform you use. So the more you can put into that, future-proofing the way you think about managing the data you want to track, the more you're going to be able to maintain measurement clarity moving forward. Remember, our core solution is to keep it simple, stupid, nothing personal, but yes, in most cases, the KISS principle is all that is needed for building a website event tracking and performance reporting strategy. In our final video in this short series, we'll show you how these key considerations and this core principle come together, allowing you to connect, optimizing your content and calls to action with a mix of standard and custom event tracking reporting to gain even more valuable insights into your website's performance. As I've often said, the key thing to remember is that doing nothing is not an option. There is no silver bullet or shiny white fast track to online business success. While a few may get lucky, it's a case of never standing still for the majority. We have to keep trying new things if we want to improve our performance. This means you need to identify and execute momentum-building micro-wins that compound over time. And to do that effectively, you need to understand the data. If you're not getting easy-to-understand and meaningful website performance reports, I challenge you to do something about it now. If you need help, please don't hesitate to ask. Look for the links in or around this video for how to get in touch or use our free resources. I'll see you in the next video.